Yo, what's up, everyone? So, I know, guys, I got work to do with being more consistent. I know. I'm missing days, I'm missing mornings, I'm missing live streams. You know what? I'm just gonna keep going and keep showing up, keep getting better. Um, Obviously, I wish I could be perfect, but we're just gonna keep trying our best, and we're gonna review the market today. So, yeah, and then hopefully make a market recap. Hey, what up, Kirk? Good morning. It's not morning for me, but if it's morning in Vietnam, that's sick. But yeah, like I said, I know I'm not perfect. I'm trying. But as I go, hopefully I become more and more perfect. Like I said before, my best might not be good enough today, but in the future, hopefully my best becomes a better version of itself. And then I maybe will be good enough. So, anyway, let's review the market. Ignore this. It's just being stupid. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pull up TradingView once again, guys. I have not traded. I did not trade this morning or yesterday. Basically, I've been kind of going through a complete reset. I'm not gonna be trading my Apex accounts anymore. I'm done with them. 12 a.m. in Nigeria. It's just a saying. Oh, that makes so much sense. So, are you actually from Vietnam, Kirk? Are you actually from Vietnam, or am I just being dumb? Yeah, 12 a.m. in Nigeria. Dude, you're up late. It's time for some late night market recap, dude. Time for some late night market recapping, dude. I can't speak English. Well, I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, I haven't been trading because I'm basically I'm having a reset right now. I'm not trading my Apex accounts anymore. I'm gonna basically my new plan is here. I'll make this big. My new plan is I'm going to have a very small personal account, and I have a scaling plan for it. And I'm gonna just slowly trade that over time, slowly scale it. And then as far as prop firms, I'm only gonna use Top Step now because I don't trust Apex anymore. I'm being completely honest. I was trying Vietnam City. Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, if I'm being to be completely transparent about Apex, I was holding off on saying this because I did not want to, have bad ties with them. But guys, I'm at the point with Apex where it's like I contacted support like 6 times. They responded the first 2 times saying just wait, but then the last 4 they just never they weren't even responding to me. And so I was getting really frustrated because I was just trying to get my account off review, and they were just leaving me completely in the dust. And then I even tried calling them, and they're like, no one's available to pick up the phone. I'm like, so like I'm at that point where I'm not even gonna deal with Apex anymore. I don't trust them. Top Step seems like a way better prop firm, and they actually seem like they care about the traders and seeing them succeed. And then as far as, the personal account, right? I don't trust any prop firms, so I just want to slowly scale a personal account. I know it might be rough and rocky at the beginning, and I could lose money, but you know what? I'd rather just trade my own money, even if it's small right now, and then slowly scale it. And I know it sounds like insane, it sounds impossible, but I really do believe it's possible. Especially because my style, right? My style is more, when I'm right, it's going to be very, very precise, and I can hopefully hit a big trade. And on personal account, there's no restrictions for that. So, okay, enough with the rant. Let's go into the charts today. And yeah, review everything. We're going to have to make a new folder. We also might need to review yesterday a bit because I did not review yesterday at all. So that is something that I should have done, but I didn't. I actually, I might have reviewed it a little bit. But yeah. I believe today was Thursday, right? I'm actually so dumb. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. It's Thursday, the 4th. And yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and mark up these charts. So I find it very fascinating that it's just it's constantly making a range, going to the extreme of the range, and then running liquidity. For instance, right? Mark out this as a range. We take out the extreme, which is this low. Just for the legit ones that have been in the game just go for the legit ones that have been in the game for 9+ years. Yeah, exactly. I don't know which ones those are though. I'm just gonna be trading personal. Oh yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. I just don't trust firms, dude. I don't trust them, and so I'd rather just trade my own money. But look at this, right? You see how the market it goes to it. This you gotta be always thinking in terms of accumulation, manipulation, distribution, because it's gonna be happening, cycling through all day, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But now this becomes its own accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? And then again, right? We have this, and then this becomes accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So these are things we gotta be thinking about when we're trading is where are we relative to the accumulation. I'm gonna actually throw this away and then I'm gonna briefly mark that up and then screenshot it. But the key, no matter what model you trade, the key is identify manipulation, get on side with distribution. I mean, that really, no matter what you trade, that is the, well, I guess the core of profitable trading, like at its absolute core, is risk management. But then the next step, if you want to be even better, focus on AMD. Yeah, I've noticed my funded futures is good as well, but once again, I haven't looked into them too much, so something I might need to look into. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, just notice how the market's constantly moving in AMD cycles, right? If it's not clear, like you should start to pay attention to it when it's happening, because this is how you're going to identify high probability trades. This is how you're going to do it, is by constantly identifying, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So first AMD, let's do this one, right? AM and then D. We run to the other side of the range. But you see what I'm saying, right? This is how you get high probability trades, is by observing the AMD. So AMD 1. Let's go ahead and open up Thursday. AMD 1. And then once again, another AMD. AMD to the downside. AMD 2. Right? And then a third AMD at the end where we get AMD to the upside. So this is what I mean when they say there's just so much opportunity every single day. You just have to be very, very aware of what the price action is and then how you can take advantage of it. Right? And then finally, one last AMD. And then we just continue up for the rest of the day. So there's that third AMD. So now let's look for actual trades within here, because it's useless if we can't find actual specific trades we could have taken within here. What's the point, right? So let's start when my live trading window starts, which is at 8:30. I'm just going to mark out that on the chart. 8:30 is right here. So starting at 8:30 is when I get on the charts. Okay, all through here, I'm not going to lie, consolidation, right? Nothing obvious. I don't think there's any obvious pre-market trade. Here, let's actually mark this out as 8:30. Okay, 8:30. So let me know if you guys saw anything in pre-market, but as far as I can tell, unless you saw these low resistance lows and maybe you took a short, but I don't know, it's not the most obvious thing in the world to me. And it'd also be like right as I got on the charts, so realistically would not take that. Maybe there's an AMD here. That's something we could look at, but I don't know how high probability that is. So no no incredibly obvious trades that stand out to me in pre-market. There may have been micro scalps, but pre-market was essentially accumulating, right? So anyway, so here's pre-market. And then, well, we might need to pull up this is why we want to wait for market open, right? Because look what happens. Market open manipulates that low, and then we distribute. So hang on. Let's screenshot this. So there actually, right at market open, there was definitely a micro scalp to the upside, which that's something we should pay attention to, right? Pre-market accumulated. So this is what I mean when I say wait till after market open, right? So then market opens at 9:30. So we have this right here. Let's actually see where midnight is. I'm curious. Oh, wow. Yeah, midnight's going to be important here. Midnight is here. Let's actually just verify that that is true. Okay, midnight's here. Yup. Why I actually wanted to look at midnight is because it's actually important here. The manipulation occurs below midnight. Oh, and I remember the other thing I need to see. Let's get S&P up. I'm honestly right now, since right now I don't want to have to. Oh, man. What I was gonna say. Right now, I don't want to have to look at the three assets together, so I'm just gonna do ES and NQ, and I'll just have ES on the bottom since this one's already on the top here. So there honestly might have been S&T with this low, which actually would have been. Yep. See that? All of a sudden, this is very, very obvious, right? So you don't really need YM. YM is just mostly just like bonus, you know? Still can be useful though. But yeah, we manipulate all of our time levels, right? And I'm guessing we manipulated 732. This is why I like having time levels as reference points, because, well, I guess 830 is right here. And then 730 is right here. So yeah, there was definitely a micro scalp opportunity right at market open. Am I saying I would have caught it? I don't know, but it's something that I want to get better at, right? Because these micro scalps, I think everyone else is sleeping on them. I'm being completely real. Like, look at this. Like, we have a BPR here. Actually, we have a volume imbalance there too. Wow. Okay, watch this, right? BPR on the 1 minute. So once again, guys, the key is AMD. It doesn't have to be perfect. The key is AMD and premium and discount. It doesn't have to be perfect in the sense that we need to have our we need to have an exact PD array. You're just basically reacting. I mean, you obviously want to have a good PD array, but what I'm saying is like this 1 minute gap works fine as a PD array. And so anyway, 1 minute volume imbalance. You see how market pushes down into it. We manipulate all of our time levels into the volume imbalance with S&T. This actually would have been a really nice turtle soup. You know, I would never have known to take it, but what I am saying is if you're a really skilled trader, you might be able to figure out that that's turtle soup, right? Okay, so this is what I'm trying to get at, right? Accumulation, this entire range is just very obvious accumulation. Let's actually just drag this over here. So accumulation, here's where the market opens. Within 30 seconds, we've already hit this 1 minute for 1 minute BPR. And then yeah, here's the issue, right? We don't have a clear 5 minute change in state. But once again, right, maybe you can consider this change in state. I don't know, just a thought. Let's outline it as a possibility, right? I like just taking notes sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, 1 minute BPR, accumulation, sweep. I don't know. It's not super obvious, but I do want to just mark it out, right? This was the first AMD, is what I'm trying to say. But how could I get in on this trade? That's the only thing. I'm not sure. But very clearly, we do manipulate down into that volume imbalance. See that? So accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. And see how we're below all of our time levels? It's a nice confluence for identifying where the manipulation happened. And then we also had S&T with this low. It might have even been 90 minute S&T. Let's see. 6 to 7:30, 7:30 to 9. I don't think it was. But anyway. S&T. And then, yeah, distribution. And then, yeah, like I said, note how we're below all of our time levels here. Bang, 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 and then bang. You ever think, like, maybe Apex genuinely just knew who I was on my YouTube, and once they figured out who I was, they're like, dude, you gotta stop replying to him. He could drain us. he could make us go bankrupt. He could be like Kane and JCap. Nah, probably not. Almost certainly not. But like, the thought does cross my mind. Like, what if that's why my account got put on review? Because they were paying me out and stuff before, and then all of a sudden, I feel like right after my video on them got pretty big, that's when my account got review, and then they basically like never let me buy any more evals, and I don't know, just seems a little weird. Note the manipulation occurs below all of our time. So honestly, the best way to probably take this would be an inverse or valley gap. So let's see if there was one. once again, guys, the time levels are. I feel like everyone else is sleeping on them so much because it's going to constantly give you a reference point for premium and discount. So there's no 1 minute inversion. What about the 30-second? So 30-second actually kind of works, but you'd have to not go break even, which could always be scary. It could always be scary to do that, but if you had conviction, that's something you could do. So kind of depends. Was this a good draw on liquidity? Honestly, I would say this is a fine draw on liquidity here. Like nice low range, nice little consolidation range. Yeah, just 30-second inversion at market open. I definitely do not mind it. These market open inversions, even though this wicked high, like once again, I'm starting to realize in certain situations when it's still obvious we're gonna go run liquidity, that can be okay. So yeah, I like this 30-second IPG. Just take it like that. Once again, don't go break even. It'd be kind of hard to not go break even, but targeting that consolidation would be 2-to-1. So not an easy trade to stay convicted in and not go break even. But if you didn't go break even, that would have paid off very, very nicely. So once again, you don't always want to go break even too fast. You got to be smart about it. So I like that 30-second IPG up to that consolidation, and then you could have held it up for more, but I personally wouldn't. So this is a 931 IPG 30-second. Save that. Once again, guys, I just like to take notes of what I notice, and we go from there. We learn from it every single day. 931 inverse value gap on the 30-second. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay, and then, like I said earlier, right, now we have this entire range here. And what happens now? Now this becomes accumulation, and then this becomes manipulation. So this is the more realistic trade, right? Once again, we're above all of our time levels. We're gonna honestly get rid of them. We already know that we're above all of them. And then yeah, accumulation. Then we get an inverse value gap back down. We could look at YM too. Let's actually do it. Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of curious about new day opening gaps. Wow. Ooh, what the heck? This was sitting right. This went right above a new day opening gap. Dang. Oh, I also want to look at the first presented for value gap. Also session stat map. I haven't looked at that in a while. Oh, we almost went right up to that. So we went near that, and then we went. This was like basically a smaller version of what the normal session bearish manipulation looks like. Right, perfectly aligned with time. I actually kind of want to make note of that. Look at this, right? of the bearish statistical New York stat map. Right, you see what I'm saying? We go almost short, we go just short of the session manipulation level here, and then we go just short of the session distribution level there. But they both occur at the statistical time, right? You see what I'm saying? The statistical time for manipulation was right here. The statistical time for distribution was right there. Very, very cool, right? And I'm actually kind of curious. I kind of want to start using the there's like another indicator that I have access to with the being able to look at all these, and that is I can look at it's like historical or it's like a session volatility metric. Yeah, it's this one. I just need to start using this more. Where is it? Aram, please select the higher time frame. Oh, okay. It doesn't work on the 30-second. So, New York statistical manipulation day lower volatility. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. Let's pull up the 1 minute chart. What? Seriously? Still? It's not showing up? Why is it not showing up? Oh, what? What is it doing? Why is it making the candles gold? No, because what? Wait, why are the candles gold? But okay, I actually want to learn this indicator because it's a powerful indicator. I just don't get it. Maybe it only shows up on the 15-minute. I can't see it. Sorry guys, I'm just getting a little distracted. We should just move on. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's really not the big deal. But I was kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about that. That's something I'll look at on a later time. But yeah, the most simple, obvious trade with this in mind that you don't need a ton of brain cells for is, well, there is this 3-minute inverse value gap. But I don't think the RR is good unless you get a retracement. And then we do get a retracement. So I personally probably would not take that because the RR is just not there. But I think there's a better version of it from the higher up on the 1 minute. I think Sotep took this. Yeah, look at this. this would be break even, but if you entered off of this, which I think is the trade Sotep took, I could be wrong. I'm actually kind of curious now. Let's just double check. Sotep, I guess he goes by Max now, on Twitter. So let's take a look at this. Yes, maybe one day. Okay, here he is, Max. Dude, this Max is actually like insanely good. Like, it's genuinely really impressive. This might have been on the 32nd. Maybe it was on the 5-second. It actually might have been on the 5-second. Dude, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, man. I think it might have been on the 5-second. Bro, that's fire. I never even thought to do that ever, but like, nah, there's no way it was a 5-second. What time frame is this on? The 5-minute? This was. Wait, when was this? Oh my, I don't know. Maybe it was at night. Oh, this was the one today. Okay, I was just getting confused. Yes, this was the one today. You can kind of see his trading style, right? Simple 1-minute inverse value. And see how he combined. So even though this had a wick, he combined the gaps because he understands that well, actually, no. This didn't have a wick. But yeah, this was nice. So 1-minute inverse value gap like this. Okay, yeah, this was really clean. And then, once again, the inverse value gap is pointless without understanding where's the liquidity pooled. And so we have to ask ourselves, where are we entering relative to the rest of everyone else that entered? And luckily, here, we still have quite a bit more liquidity below. See that? So we can actually target this with confidence. So this is, you really want to be paying attention to this, like, right? This is, I know most other traders do not use volume profile, but I personally think this is really, really helpful because you know where liquidity is pooled. Yeah, this was on the 1-minute. You want me to look at the 5-minute too? I can later. But yeah, once again, this is the liquidity pool. So this is where I want to target. And honestly, guys, I'm not even necessarily opposed to the idea of literally just like random times just checking like, okay, where is the market, where's the most liquidity balanced to? Well, that's a bad example, but like, because it's including all the current price action. But if I just imagine this was the current price, right? I'm not even opposed to just constantly reevaluating like, where's the liquidity, where's the most liquidity here? Right at this point, liquidity is right here. So inverse value gap to go target that makes a lot of sense. And then you could obviously scale out some here. So like TP1, TP2, like this. You could even do all off at 1R. That's a very fine way to do it. Note, look at the volume imbalance. Look at the volume imbalance. Look at the Jan entry. The volume imbalance is a Jan entry, right? So this is a 1-minute IPG. Once again, I definitely take profit here. Like you can do partials, right? So TP1, TP2, and then leave a runner for here. See that? See how nice that is? Such a clean trade. And all it takes is understanding where you are relative to the rest of the transactions. That's all it takes. Understand where you are relative to the rest of the transactions in the range when you take your IFG or IFG or any other entry, right? The rest of the transactions were all down here. This was the liquidity pool. So you could do TP1, TP2, and then TP3. You took this? Nice, bro. This was clean. This was clean. I love that, bro. And I just want to point something out. After I screenshot this, I'm going to point something out. Okay, so this is a 937 inverse value gap on the 1 minute. 937 IFG, 1 minute. The other thing I want to mark out is, guys, this is amazing example of a Jan entry working its magic. See how there's a volume imbalance that is chilling above the initial entry point? Guys, so much of the time, we're just going to end up retracing when there's a volume imbalance above the entry. And so just note that for the future. Like, let's say you don't love a trade, but you prefer to take it with higher RR if you can hit the volume imbalance. Well, you can go put a limit order on the volume imbalance, and you can get higher RR, and you have less risk, right? Or you could do smaller size with a smaller stop, and then still get the same profit, risking less money, right? That's a million things you can do. But do you see what I'm saying? This is a volume imbalance, so this is a Jan entry, right? Entering on a retrace. So let's mark this out as a Jan entry at the volume balance. Hang on a second. I'll read what you said in a second. Amazing Jan entry at the volume imbalance. So I'll screenshot this. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to read what you said in just a second after I screenshot this one more time. So this was a 937 IFG-J 1 minute. And then, yeah, the reason I said IFG-J is because this is the entry, but this is an entry, but on a retrace, so I'm calling it a Jan entry. That's what I call the entries on retraces. And then this is a 1 minute. Okay, save that. Okay, what were you saying? Yo, what do you think of the BTC long on daily? Bro, I'm locked in with life savings. Dang, bro. Okay, let's look at that really quickly, right? Because, dude, you're in with your life savings? Holy crap, dude. That's ballsy. That's scary. Long on Bitcoin. Let's see. On the daily chart. Oh, yeah. Nice little inverse value gap, huh? Let's get rid of the other two screens. Well, there's things to like about it. There's things to not like about it. One thing, let's see. Let's zoom out here. One thing I'll say is, I mean, we're so high in premium, right? So we longed, but we're in a deep premium. I mean, I'm not saying, once again, I'm just trying to get better too, but I don't know. It's kind of scary, especially because the weekly and the 2 week inverse the downside. I'm not trying to I'm still trying to get better, dude. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm kind of scared of where we are positioned here. Hang on a second. I'm waiting for this to load. And honestly, though, we could go up. I'm not saying we can't. Let's see. Like I said, I really don't know. But let's see. If this will load, come on. What the heck? Why is my volume tool not working? Load. Yeah, I mean, I think it could end up working out. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could go break even at that high. Dude, why is it not? Okay, anyway. Maybe I need to do it on a different chart. Oh, this is the futures chart. Whoops. Yeah, man, I'm not sure. Like, it just doesn't seem like the most obvious thing in the world to me. This daily inverse for value gap. Like, it might work, but I'm definitely scared because 2-week inverse to the downside here. 2-week inverse to the downside, the weekly inverse to the downside. And we're in deep premium. I don't know. I'm not saying you just got to take trades according to your own conviction, but yeah, I don't know. It might end up working out. I don't know. I don't know enough Houthi. I would just, take the risk if you're confident. You gotta, once again, you gotta have your own personal conviction based off your own personal back testing, and so kind of just ignore anything I say because whatever I say, it does not. It's not relevant to you because guess what? You got to trade according to your own back testing. You got to trade according to your own conviction because no one else can make that trade but yourself. But I basically what I'm saying is I am scared because I do see us having inverse this 2-week to the downside and this weekly to the downside. But the 3-week, we're holding a 3-week gap. So we're definitely higher time frames bullish. I don't really know. There's nothing that's standing off the chart to me though. That's all I'll say. But yeah, we could end up coming down to there. We'll see. So I don't know. Basically, what I'm saying is, it's not light bulb enough for me to know. But that's gonna be interesting to see what happens for sure. On NAS though, I feel like we're drawing up to these low resistance highs now. I was thinking that this might happen the other day. Okay, yeah, we were going to look more at possible trades. Oh, you know what? We got to look at the Reaper. We got to look at the Reaper gap. Let's see if we held the Reaper gap. Oh, this is a better breaker. Let's go the 4 hour. Or maybe you need to use this one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you probably need to use the highest time frame one. Almost hit that one, but it hits this. Dang, bro. Reaper gaps are insane. I can't wait to trade a Reaper on my personal account because I could just, hit some crazy RR. Oh. Right. 4-hour breaker. And then there's that Reaper gap. Right, why is the Reaper gap? Because this is the breaker before we came and swept liquidity. And then we came back higher. So that's where I'm looking. Kind of curious if there's anyone watching, or if so, how many people. Wait, where did I put my phone at? Did I not put it on the charger? Oh, it's upstairs. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. So, yeah, we gotta look at more specific trades now. Specific trades. Now, I like this. So this is a 15-minute key level because it's a 15-minute Reaper gap. So, it's also a 15-minute BPR. So overlapping 15-minute PD raise. Hootie, if I were you, bro, I would just create a personal account and have really good risk management and slowly scale your life savings with good risk management, trade by trade, risking like 3% down to 2% down to 1%, which is like I don't have that much money, so I'm starting out like 3%. But when I scale it up, then I'm going to bring it down to 2, then 1, then 0.5%. As I get more money, I'm going to be more conservative not to lose it. And so I have like the scaling plan. It's actually pretty cool. I just posted it in the Discord of how when the account grows, I'm going to taper down my risk. And then eventually, I want trading to the live account to slowly I'll be risking less and less per trade, but then hopefully it slowly replaces working full time, which is what I'm doing right now, right? Which would be awesome. Because once again, if I have a bigger account, I can risk 0.5%, and Yeah, if I have a bigger account, I can risk 0.5%. I can risk less and still make like thousands in a day, which is why this whole narrative I have to risk 5% per trade is not true. So check that out, right? That was clean. So yeah, this very obvious AMD here. I love this 1 minute change in state. I think the trade that I would take today would probably have been this 1 minute change in state, if I'm being realistic. So the trade I probably would have taken is 15-minute BPR if I was to take a trade, right? And we have a Reaper gap. This is why the key is to wait for something obvious. Yo, Medblock, what up, bro? So if I was perfect, which I'm not, but if I was perfect, the trade I would have wanted to take is 15-minute key level here, 15-minute BPR, look away sweep. Let's see where we are relative to our key times. Or below midnight. Yeah, we're literally below midnight with this entry. So we're below all of our key times. Let's just mark out midnight because I want to mark out all of them. And then an amazing change state delivery that's just very obvious. And with this one, I would not even put stop all the way at the low because we have a really nice breaker and good liquidity. I would put stop loss at this swing low here. I think this is so clean, right? 15, and it's just higher time frame AMD as well, right? Accumulation, and it's going into 10 a.m. That's beautiful, Kirk. That is so beautiful, dude. Yeah, I think if I was to trade today, which obviously I don't know if I would because obviously it's hindsight and I'm not perfect, but I would have liked to have taken this 1 minute BPR to 1 minute change state delivery. So just a giant accumulation range, and then so yeah, accumulation below midnight. Because obviously I'm not perfect, so I don't know what I would have done in the moment. I didn't trade today. Just kind of going through a little bit of a reset because I'm getting sick of Apex. I don't want to trade the Apex accounts anymore. I'm just so sick of it, and they're just not responding to my emails. And so I'm just gonna start over with a personal account, and then also I'm gonna only do Top Step. I'm not gonna do Apex anymore. And yeah, because I did lose some. I would be lying if I said I didn't lose some of my Apex accounts because I just been trying for so long now, and it's just at the point where I just got to the point where I lost them, and like that's just the reality of trading, and it's just I don't know. I just got sick. I didn't even know if I was gonna end up with if they were gonna end up paying me because they were just not even responding to my emails, and so I'm at the point where okay, I'm going to restart with Top Step, right? I'm going to restart with Top Step, and I'm also going to have a very small personal account. So I'm going to trade both of them at once. Top Step on my phone, my personal account on my computer. I'm going to have very strict risk management with my personal account on my computer. And yeah, I just want to do personal because then I don't have to worry about consistency. If I hit a big win on a day, I don't have to worry about it. I can just be completely chilling with a huge win if I get one. And then Top Step's just a super chill firm. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with that, right? Yeah, I'm just so sick of Apex, dude. I'm so sick of Apex. So yeah. Anyway, I think personal really is the best. Yeah, so if I was to trade today, I think I would have preferred to take something like this, where just higher time frame was bullish. You could literally take this, right? You could take this, and then you could hold this for the entire day. That's the beauty of a trade like this, is I can take most off here, but then I can leave the rest to go run for the entire day. And if I do that, look at the power of that, right? Look at the power Where's the S&T at? Which, oh yeah, that's so beautiful, Kirk. This is why I want a personal account, because I get my quick buck, which is targeting probably this high, right? 1.35. I make quick money here. And I could obviously leave runners, right? So this is the quick version of it. But I could just, if I have a personal account, I could set stop to break even on maybe if I take 1 and leave a runner, since this is 4 cons, right? Take profit 3 here. I could leave a runner and just say I'm going to hold it for the entire day. And since it's a personal account, I don't care about drawdown or anything like that. And then I just come back in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm up bazillion dollars. Let's go. That's basically the main reason why I think personal is so powerful. Is I can do stuff like that. Is I can literally just leave a runner, forget about it. So yeah, accumulation, manipulation. Apparently SMT with ES2. Very, very nice. Let's actually draw this out here. Let's actually mark it out like this. Accumulation, manipulation. You could even have taken this lower inverse value gap, actually. And it would not be bad. Another thing I would consider doing is I would just measure this out and then target the first standard deviation. Yeah, I'm going to be realistic. I would leave a runner to here, so I do TP1, TP2, right? So TP1 here, and then TP2 here. And then, honestly, there's a good chance that this would just be it, that I'd just be done for the day. But there's also a chance that I would consider leaving a runner. I don't know. It just kind of depends how I'm feeling in the moment, I guess. But I love this. I love this, love this, love this. Now, it'd definitely be scary because I might go break even here, and then I might get stopped out of break even. I don't know what I would have done. I can't say for sure. But this is one where you would not go break even, clearly. Like I said, I don't know if I would make the right decision. I might have ended up going break even, and then this would have been a break even trade for me. Which, it's realistic that could have happened. So I don't know. I don't know what I would have done, but I do think it's worthwhile to mark out the chart. There's a good chance I would have gone break even. But now I know for the future, if this happens, that I probably shouldn't go break even in this situation. So don't, in this situation, hold because of conviction, no break even. Yeah, it's insane, trader. Isn't it insane? Right? So once again, break even is such a personal thing, and in this situation, it just seems really obvious AMD. So I think I would try and just hold this here, but I don't know if that's exactly what I would have done. There's a decent chance I would have gone break even. You could also, like if you have conviction, maybe you enter at the close and then you enter more at the retest. That could be, if you're an aggressive trader, that could be a way you take that. I don't know if that's what I would do, but I'm just taking notes here. So, but yeah, genuinely beautiful. I think that's a realistic trade that I could have taken. So, flow state close, 10.23. Once again, you would not go break even, which I don't know if I would do that. But now I know for the future in the situation that I just got to hold because of conviction and not go break even in this situation. Flow state close, 15-minute BPR, 1 minute change state delivery close. So So flow state close. Once again, I don't know if that's what I would have done. As I always say, break even's a very personal thing. But now for the future, I'll know because it's 10 a.m. because it's going into 10 a.m. because it's really good change state delivery with good liquidity. I'd very much consider not going break even. So 15-minute aligning with the 1 minute. I was thinking the same thing, but we got 2 A+ setups, so not too bad. Yeah, for sure. And then as well, same thing. You could take this as a flow state retest, but it'd be with a mini stop loss. I don't know if that's something that I love, but like flow state retest, but stop below the breaker. That's another way you could take this, and then you could use the breaker for standard deviations. So 1, 2. See that? See how you can use the breaker for standard deviations, and now that's just a different way of doing it, right? So I kind of like that. I don't know if that's what I would do, but I just want to mark it out because it's a very possible trade that I could have taken, and I want to be able to get to the point that I can take stuff like that. So this would be essentially, I call these ones whenever it's like a flow state retest, but it's not like a full size stop. I do flow state mini. Because it's a mini size stop, right? And the reason I say it could be a mini is because there's a really nice breaker here. So that's why I would consider not doing a full size stop. So, and then as well, obviously I'm scaling out all through here. So I don't even know if I want to mark it out, but because we already know, but bottom right. So flow state mini. Once again, I'm scaling out. Wait, let's mark out. Yep. The best entry would be this lower one. So I don't know if I'd get that, but just the thought, and I'll mark that one out as well. So 1027 flow state mini, because it's not a full size stop since there's a breaker. Oh, I forgot to mark that part out. Flow state mini in this case because of context, because there is a breaker and I don't think full size stop would be needed according to my back testing. Once again, everyone's got to do based off of what their own back testing tells them, and if they think they need a full size stop in this situation, they should have one. That's just my own personal point of view. Let's go, trader. Dude, we are locked in, bro. We are locked in. It's always good to have know that you're not alone, right? It's always good to know you're not alone. 1:35 in the morning. That's insane. We're locked in, man. So 1027 flow state mini. Yeah, not a full size stop because there's a breaker, and according to my own back testing, I don't think it would need to go any lower than that. So 15-minute. And once again, I don't care what anyone else thinks. Like, if anyone else disagrees with me, like, you have to have... No, I don't care. This is my trading. This is what I'm going to do. So 15-minute flow state mini, 15-minute, 1 minute. And okay, and yeah, like I said, this is just amazing for the rest of the day. As well, this is an inverse value gap. pretty clean, right? Where, we just get an inverse value gap. It's not super complicated. It's like we pop off the lows, we get an inverse value gap. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. This is just really obvious. What does the 3 minute look like? Yeah, bro. This is like brain dead type of, obvious level price action. Like inverse value gap. Didn't take this one. Actually, if Dodgy said you didn't take this, you're a donut, I actually might agree with him. Like, this is just, oh man, this is actually beautiful. This one's actually valid to say that. Most of the time he says that, I'm like, bro, it's a little extreme. But I think this one's like, this is really nice. Pop off the low, inversion with really obvious liquidity above. You could literally just target the high. You could just go all in for the high if you wanted to. That is a possibility. I'm not even gonna tell you not to. Actually, I'd probably target the rejection block, to be honest. Yeah. This is what I would do. Enter here and then target that high, the rejection block. Not always easy to take trades like that, but this is how the big bucks are made, is by taking high quality setups. And obviously I'd scale out. Final T. I'm going to mark this out as final TP because obviously I would have scaled out. And I'd probably put stop there. And then, yeah, final TP. So this is a 3 minute inverse value gap. 3 minute IPG. Let's go ahead and screenshot this. And yeah, bang, dude. That's a nice trade. You could also have waited. Another way to take this, okay, being realistic, this is an external gap. That's something to be wary about. But because of liquidity, you could anticipate it to be broken. But there is an external gap. So if you wanted to be cautious, you could wait for that one to be broken. So we'll mark that one out as well. 1020 IPG 3 minute. Or no. Was this on the 2 minute, really? I thought it was on the 3 minute. Oh yeah, it was on the 2 minute. Okay, we're gonna have to re-screenshot this. So 1020. Ooh, it's the Hydra macro too. Dude, it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. Hydra macro as well. 20 to 40, right? People thinking Hydra macros aren't a thing. Bro, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Do you not see the market moving in these times? Bro, I need to make a video on Hydra macros. Maybe I'll make it today. I've been needing them. I need to make a new video today. Bro, people actually think Hydra macros aren't a thing. Like, bro, you're dumb. This is obvious. It's obviously moving during this time. Once again, if you guys don't know what Hydra macros are, it's a... Most people only know the macros between 50 of any hour and 10 of any hour. But there's also a macro between 20 and 40, and you could actually just get out at the end of the macro, and that actually makes more sense. I like that. Look at that, right? I mean, come on, really? You don't think Hydra macros are a thing? Really? No. No, hydro macros are a thing. They are a thing. I don't really care if you disagree. They're a thing, right? So anyway, bang, liquidity sweep. Off the 15-minute BPR, there's 2-minute inverse value gap. So here's another version of that same trade. And obviously, I could maybe just target here. You know what? That actually makes way more sense. I would definitely just, realistically, I would just target there. Let's just try and be realistic with these trades, you know? I want to say, what would I actually target? And I think I would target that. Let's actually draw this out like this. Okay, there we go. That's looking pretty good. So inverse value gap, 10-20 on the 2-minute. 10-20 IFEG, 2-minute. And once again, like I said, if you wanted to wait for this external gap to be broken, you know, that's totally fine. For me, I would have anticipated it to be broken, but you could have waited. You'd probably have to put your stop here instead. But this would have also been about a 1.6 to 1, so you would have probably just held it because of conviction. So that's another way to take the same exact trade. So 10-22 IFEG, 2-minute, and then yeah, that self-explanatory. We go to 1.6 to 1. You would just have to not go break even. So yeah, dude, very nice, very nice. 10-22 inverse value gap, 2-minute. Let's go ahead and save that. Once again, I don't know if I wouldn't go break even, to be honest, but it's a note for the future. Like, hey, if you got conviction, sometimes you really do have to hold because of conviction. You can't just say you're not going to, right? You gotta. Sometimes if you have conviction, you just gotta do it. You just gotta hold. It's hard, but sometimes you just gotta do that. And then when you're wrong, you just gotta accept it. So I think, did I save it? I saved it, right? 10-22 inverse value gap, 2-minute. Yeah, that was clean, guys. That was so clean. So kind of want to look for the first presented for value gap, and I don't know. I wish I could just. I wish I had all day to review the market. Yeah, same trader. It just kind of depends on the context, and break evens, they're not terrible. Like, they're not a loss, so you really do have to depend. It depends on the context. Okay, the first presented for value gap was actually so sick today. What? That is sick. The first presented for value gap was like genuinely cool as heck. Look at that. That is fine looking first presented for value gap, if I do say so. And I actually think this right here, this is the most obvious. This is the most obvious trade you could take here. Would be, obviously the model is basically played out here, right? We have our whole entire model that's formed. This whole entire model is formed. I think something ICT said is second stage distribution of a market maker model is the highest probability price leg. And I believe it because you already have the entire model framed. You're just getting that last little piece. I don't know if that's true. I might just be saying that. But check this out, right? First presented for value gap. And then we got this model here. And then, We also had that 15-minute BPR. We already kind of looked at that. Whoa, why is there a fly? Go away. Come on, go away. Okay, so 15-minute FVG. Hey, what up, Emmy? Dude, I'm doing good. How are you? Where are you from, bro? I don't know. That's just the first thought that came to my mind. I don't know why. But yeah, dude. Pretty clean here, right? So what I'm saying is, right, this is the initial accumulation, right? Well, I don't know if that's the official term for it, but it's obviously accumulation. We manipulate this low. Let's go. That's great. I could look for SMT. I'm kind of lazy right now. Yeah, let's just go look for it, right? Rwanda. Yeah, I've heard of the country. That's awesome, bro. That's so cool. Man, it's crazy how widespread my videos can go. It's crazy. Like Rwanda, that is really cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, look at that. Sweep. Okay. So I don't see SMT, so I'm going to go back to the main screen. But what I'm saying is this is a market maker buy model off of this 15-minute BPR. So within this already high probability model, now we have what I'm trying to get at, right, is the model. First, I'm assuming first stage distribution. I could be totally wrong. You took this distribution on NQ. That's insane, bro. So what I'm thinking is this is first stage distribution. I could be totally wrong, guys. I really actually don't understand the whole first and second stage distribution stuff. But it's just kind of like, to me, it's just like common sense. Like, okay, so this was the first stage up to that first standard deviation. So this is kind of to get in on the second stage here, right? To go to the second standard deviation. So could be totally wrong with this, but I like experimenting to get better. So then first presented for value gap within this model. So we have accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now within this, we find lower time frame accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So within this, right, let's drop down to the aligned time frame, which is the 5 second, right? And once again, I am not scared of the 5 second. This is just, markets are fractal. So first presented for value gap. I'm liking this already, to be honest. You're from Ireland? Let's go, trader. Ireland, dang, Ireland, that's crazy. It's crazy how people all over the world can see my videos. It's pretty cool. I'm from Idaho, United States. So it's like crazy because only 30% or less, I think, of my viewers are from the United States. Let's actually mark this out like this. Actually, let's mark it out like this. This is the most obvious sweep. Right? So we sweep liquidity. No way, Mr. Green. Let's go. Mr. Green, Ireland. It's cool. Your name goes with your country. So first presented for value gap. Just really obvious accumulation range. And then what? Manipulation of the lows into the first presented for value gap. Once again, this is not always easy to catch this. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's not. It 100% is not. But if you can, and like if you could freeze time, if I could just freeze time and I know this is the 5-second chart. This is why this is so hard. But if I could freeze time, 5-second change in state, this is all going to be like a void. It's going to be as if price action is not there. This is going to want to get filled. It's not going to be a gap. Why is this not going to be a gap? Because we have liquidity up here. So this is going to be like a void. And then it's going to want to get filled. And actually, let's mark out this template. Let's remark this out. Mr. Green. It's a good name. Good name. Yeah. Liquidity void. Accumulation. You guys should all come hang out when I live trade in the mornings, which probably is going to be in the middle of the night for you, but still, right? Accumulation. Well, once again, I'm still getting better with trading, so if I make mistakes, it's just the reality of it. But only 2 years in. Some people do this for 9-10 years, and I don't know about that long, but some people do it for a really long time, and it's really still hard for them. So it's just the reality of it. It's a really, really difficult thing, but that is just the reality of doing something that has such a great reward, right? It's such a great reward, and it's only given to the people who fight through the pain. It's hard. It's really hard. So is becoming a doctor. So is becoming a lawyer. All these other things. So pick your heart, right? I want to be a trader. That's just me. So once again, enter on the close here because I like the draw on liquidity, and then I can just target those highs. And then if I measure this out, yep, we go to that 4th standard deviation. That would be my final take profit probably. Actually, you know what? I would go all off there. That's 3-1 right there, baby. First presented for value gap. 5-second change in state. I ain't scared of a 5-second. I know how these markets move. Markets are fractal, baby. Let's go. 5-second change in state up to those highs to that 3rd standard deviation. Boom. That's how I would take it. Do you use Bookmap to look at good spot? I need to start doing that. I don't know a good platform to look at Bookmap, if I'm being completely honest, and I have to figure that out. But I think Bookmap is very important, and so I would like to start doing that. I have to get better at. I need to figure out what software to use for that, but I think that'd be smart. But yeah, this is void, and then this is gonna be where the liquidity pool is right here. Right, where all these transactions are there's gonna be a ton of transactions there. So now I probably should film the market recap soon, but I don't know. I feel like I never have reviewed enough price action to be qualified to make a market recap for the day. It's like I always feel like that, you know? That's the name of the one I use. It's called Bookmap. All right, I'm going to write that down, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bookmap. I'm going to write that down because I do want to get a good Bookmap type thing, whatever you call it, because I think that's important. I don't know where the pen is. Alright. Okay, I wrote it down. But yeah, this is clean. And this is also... Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and screenshot it. So once again, it's always easier to watch the market and look at it and mark it up hindsight than it is to trade it live. But in the future, you know, the more we mark these up, the more we're going to be able to see them live. So yeah, I think that is so smart. And I think a lot of people underestimate how smart that really is, right? I think combining ICT with the actual orders in the market, I mean, it just enhances your ICT trading. I don't get why other people don't see that. A 11:15. What is this? 11:15. Oh, this is my first strike model, where I take the 5-second change of state off the first presented for value gap. First strike, 1 minute, 5 second. Okay, I might take a break for a sec because I've been going for a while and I'm getting a little tired, and I'll come right back. But yeah, doing pretty good, guys. Doing pretty good. A lot of good back testing done. It just sucks that I can't work 24/7 without getting tired. Just the reality of it. So I wish I could. But I'm gonna go take a break for a sec, and I'll be right back. Let's actually real quick. Let's look. Let's see how many people are watching now. Dude, I can't wait for the ICT. I don't know if it already started or not, but the ICT 2025 mentorship. It might have already started. I think he just uploaded. 2 watching. Let's go. Okay. I'll be back. Dang, guys, 4 subs. That's insane. That's the most I've had in a stream in a while. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's a good identify big liquidity in the market. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've looked at quite a bit. This as well as a 5-second change in state. I'm not going to mark that one out because that one was a little less obvious. But look at how we interact with this throughout the day, right? First percent for value gap was nice today, guys. Right, look at every single time we push up into this was a trade, this is a trade, this is a trade, this is a trade, this is a trade, they're all trades. There's at least 6, maybe 7 opportunities just with this first percent for value gap. It's crazy. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. So a lot of the time you really do, like sometimes I'm like, oh, but I want to leave a runner for this, but it's like, no. Just target the most obvious liquidity. Don't go further, don't go less. And that's something that I need to work on, right? Take a trade to target the most obvious liquidity. Don't do further, don't do less. But look at this, right? I just want to show you guys this. See how the market is interacting with this all day long? All of these each have their own respective 5-second change in states, which allows for at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 opportunities. It's crazy. See what I'm saying? Right? We can go in the lower time frame and look for 5-second change in states off of them. Okay. And there's just so much to review every single day. It feels like I can never review it all. Look at this. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's crazy. I kind of want to look at this one. Becomes really obvious right here. This is the one that you'd want to enter on. Like, this is really obvious. Well, so is this one, but this one's even more obvious. You could have got stopped out on that, but this one is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Because at this point it's clear markets rejected the first presented for value gap. So once again, we got a nice liquidity pool down here. I don't even need to get the tool out. I can just tell, right? That's going to be liquidity pool. So once again, don't target more, don't target less than what the market is offering. Target the liquidity, and that is it. So yeah, 5-second change of state. Liquidity sweep. So and then 5-second change of state. And so this would probably be like 1.5R, but like I said, doesn't mean it's not a good trade, right? It is. It's a great trade. 2R actually. See, this is why I really like these, is because, like, don't underestimate how powerful they can be. Once again, why not the higher one? Well, you could. It's just not obvious enough. I mean, you could. There's a chance I would have taken it. I'm not even going to lie. And I might have got stopped out. But this one's clearly way more obvious. I mean, that's the hard part about trading. Sometimes, you know, you're going to mess up. But the second one is objectively more obvious than the first one. So 9:41. Why is there a fly still flying around me? $9.41, first strike. One minute, 5 seconds. And I might just go ahead and film the market recap because I want to get to bed so I can wake up and trade. You know, these market recaps, they don't have to be perfect. I just have to review the market, get it done, you know? So, yeah. Probably going to do that. And like, there's really a million trades constantly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at S&P. Okay, I think I'm gonna film the market recap. So it's pretty self-explanatory today. 9:30 manipulated, 10 o'clock distributed, and I might talk about the higher time frame too, right? Higher time frame was in a buy model off of those lows, so pretty high probability day. Right, higher time frame. We had SMT with this low, and it was clear accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So, okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and film the market recap. So, yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and film it. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.